The following is a presentation of TFNN.
Welcome, folks, to Half of the Money Masters. One of us is on vacation, and it's not me. Of course, I'm on vacation here with you. Every day is a vacation day. Hopefully, you're off to a great start of your Monday, marvelous Monday right now. You've got the Dow off 15 points. The Dow up 15 points. S&P's off 2. Composite off 3, small caps down 2.5, leading the charge on the way down right now. If we take a quick look and see what's going on with the commodities out there, you've got gold is off 14 bucks out at 16.97, silver off 53 cents out at 33.68, light sweet crude down 105.67. We'll take a look at light sweet crude. That is headed down towards the bottom of its trading range that it's in right now. You've got King Dollar off 5 ticks. If you go around and take a look at the DAX is just slightly positive, up 2 points right now. FTSE down 9, so nothing really much going on in Europe. The Nikkei down 40 points overnight. Hang Seng was up 48 points, and the Shanghai off $5. 877-927-6648. That's our call number, folks. Would absolutely love to hear from you. I picked up a book over the weekend. It's the title is "It's Not How Good You Are, It's How Good You Want to Be," folks. And a cool book, a lot of different metaphors. And metaphors, folks, are really those anchors, if you will, that we use to control our decision-making process. And so what's actually cool is they've got a picture here, and it's a picture of, a cloud, an explosion, if you will, of energy. I'm going to call it a volcanic cloud, if you will. That's a better idea than maybe a bomb being dropped, if you will. And it says here, this is pretty cool, it says energy. It's 75% of the job. If you haven't got it, be nice. Think about that, folks. Absolutely, it is all about energy. And we take a look at A to B equals C to D, patterns we cross. We talk about blowing through swing points, if you will, and you want to be able to do it with energy. It's that way in life. What we want to be able to help you do is get through your swing point, your B point, if you will. Now, I'm going to go ahead and read from this as well. The following page says, "Do not seek praise, seek criticism." Now, I don't want to read that one. Let's see here. Here's the one I really wanted to read. Let's go back here. It says, "Do not covet your ideas. Give away everything you know, and more will come back to you." Well, take a look at what it is that we do here at TFNN each day, providing you with information. So it goes like this. You will remember from school other students preventing you from seeing their answers by placing their arms around their exercise book or their exam paper. It's the same at work. People are secretive with ideas. Don't tell them that. They'll take credit for it. The problem with hoarding, folks, is you end up living off your reserves, and eventually you'll become stale. If you give away everything you have, you are left with nothing. This forces you to look to be aware and to replenish, folks. Somehow, the more you give away, the more that comes back to you. Ideas are open knowledge. Don't claim ownership. They're not your ideas anyway. They're someone else's. They are out there floating by, one after the other. You just have to put yourself in a frame of mind to pick them up. So, folks, don't be a hoarder, if you will, and share all of your ideas. They are absolutely other folks' ideas, and that's what I'm going to really be doing during the Master Trader Series courses that I'm doing this coming March 23rd. That is next Friday and Saturday in Denver, then in Tampa on April 13th and the 14th, and in Boston on the 27th and 28th. It is the best of ideas that come from Tom, Larry, and Tony Robbins, folks, because it's all about being able to have the right energy, being able to put yourself in the right frame of mind. Oh, there's plenty of other things that I will share out there that actually don't even come from those guys, if you will, and you can join me. Just go to the homepage of TFNN.com, check that out. And folks, I absolutely am going to be able to help you change your game. So let's go take a look at the game that's going out here in the marketplace today. Relatively quiet right now, but let's go dive into some of the sectors inside the S&P 500. So where do you want to start? Let's go start. We talked about energy, and since this book talked about energy, let's go take a look at the energy sector out there. That would be the XLE. And if we take a look at the XLE, folks, what you want to do is you want to understand, what are the components inside the XLE. ExxonMobil represents, I think, I don't have the exact figure off the top of my head, but somewhere in the 25 to 35% range, and so you'd want to be taking a look at that stock, the top 10. You can go to the Spiders ETF website, and it'll give you the latest. So this would be through Friday's close, the weightings inside there. So if we take a look at the XLE is on its way to making an ABC down. That ABC, folks, that started here on February 24th. So if we take a look at that swing point high, February 24th, the high out there, 76.50. The B point was on March the 6th. That was last Tuesday. The low out there, 72.58. The C point was when it made a retracement on Friday. It retraced all the way back to a high of 74.87. So let's go take a look at that retracement. We're going to blow that up here on my screen. Hopefully you're watching us on Tiger TV. Go to the homepage of TFNN.com. You can click on that now. You can watch the show live, or if you go over on the right-hand side of the homepage, you'll see a little area where you can go ahead and click on that, and you can bookmark it on your iPad, your iPhone, your Android device, and then we're just one click away, and you're able to watch this. Plus, this show is archived. I know my morning show at 9 a.m., that is archived, I believe, on Channel 9 now. And I'm not sure what channel this one is on. Maybe I'll get that sent to me here in a minute. But if we go take a look at that A to B leg, let's go take a look at the retracement that we saw in the XLE coming into Friday. How would we do that? We would take our retracement ruler. We'd start up at the high, up at that February 24th area, come all the way down to the low that was made last Tuesday. And what you will see is the 0.618 area was looks like $75 even. And where the XLE got up to was 74.87. 13 ticks away from that. And right now, what the XLE is trying to do, it's trying to work on its C to D leg. Now, when it's going to work on that C to D leg, it's going to give us a piece of information as it gets into that March 16th swing point. The high on that swing point, folks, 73.38. You are trading out right now at 73.70. You got down to a low so far today of 73.65. 1.2 million shares. We are in our first, 30 minutes of trading. Is that right? Yeah, first 44 minutes of trading. So in the, let me try to do the math on this in my head. This one might be tough. Let's just say, looks like you're doing maybe about, only about 8 million shares. 8 million shares going into 14 million. It's going to need to pick up some juice. Of course, that was just a quick math exercise that was going through my brain there, trying to convert 45 minutes into 6.5 hours of trading. So I wouldn't take my number, if you will, as anywhere close to exact, but it's a pretty decent approximation. You can see right now, you're going to want to watch the XLE. You're going to want to watch how it trades inside this C to D leg and how it trades as it's coming into that area. The XLE actually being one of the weak areas, one of the weak sectors inside the S&P 500 right now. Now, the XLE was able to trade into the October 27 swing point as it was coming down. Now, what you can see if you go back and take a look at that October 27 swing point, folks, we have identified that as an important date, an important area, just like February 2nd and February 3rd are. And if you take a look at that high volume bar out there, you can see it at 31 million shares. As you came into the XLE, you came into it with 13 million shares, and then that was on Tuesday. On Wednesday, you came out of it with 14 million shares. Next trading session, 10, and then on Friday, another 14 million shares out there. The XLE is on its way down. Now, like I said, you would want to go ahead and take a look at the top 10 equities inside the ETF. I know ExxonMobil is the lead dog inside there. So if we take a look at ExxonMobil actually gave you the signal that the XLE could be having trouble, and it did that right here. Did that 2 trading sessions after it made its high. It did that on February 29th. Remember, February 29th, folks, pretty key day, because if you go take a look at swing points inside the SPYs or the IWM or the diamonds, what you're going to see was highs being made. In the ExxonMobil, the high actually came in on February 27th. It did 13 million shares going into the swing point, this doji candle, if you will, going into the swing point of January 23rd that had 15 million shares. Now, The high on that was 87.94. It did not get up to that, up and over. It only got up to 87.83. But what you did 2 trading sessions later was you made a bearish engulfing candle. So you made a bearish engulfing candle, didn't have enough juice on the way up, said that ExxonMobil wanted to start trading lower. Right now it's really trading into this, if you take a look at this bar here from January 31st, which has 27 million shares, you've come into that bar on lighter volume, but you are trading inside there, and it at least wants to go down and test, in my opinion, wants to test the bottom of that, which also would get you back into testing the swing point here of February the 2nd. Remember we talked about February 2nd, or I just talked about February 2nd? So February 2nd on the ExxonMobil, XOM being the ticker symbol, folks, that has 18 million shares. Now, what you did on Friday, the high on that is 84.34. What you did on Friday was you came down into that area. You closed at 84.30. You came into it with 17 million shares, and that swing point low has got 18 million. So, almost enough energy. We talked about energy, and as this said, folks, if energy is 75% of the job, if you will, and if you don't have enough energy, you should learn to be nice. Of course, you should always be nice, in my opinion. So if that's ExxonMobil, that is the XLE. Let's go take a look at the XLF out there. Take a look at the XLF. XLF trading out at 1480 right now. And if we take a look at where that's trading into, you can see that the XLF actually has one of the better pattern configurations out there. It's got a Tiger Gartley. A Tiger Gartley, folks, is when you are crossing through the B point, and the B point on the XLF is October 27th. That high out there being 1417, 232 million shares. And you can see as you came up over this, and that would be, let me just draw the line here so you can see that on the bottom of the screen. So here is your B point, and we'll draw the line, and you can see never have you even come close to that type of volume as you've gotten over that B point. What you did do was a 1.272 expansion from October 27th down to the lows of November 25th, the day after Thanksgiving. And that came into that 1480 area. You're trading out at 1480 right now. You have been trading in the XLF in a very sideways area. But until this February 2nd area is broken, you take a look at the XLF. Just like any of the ETFs, or most of the ETFs out there, they are trading above February 2nd. 877-927-6648. Dow is up 23. S&Ps are flat. We'll be right back, folks.
X-Story Gold Mines, an NYSE Amex-listed company trading under the symbol XG, is slated to be the newest gold-silver producer in Argentina. X-Story is forecast to produce more than $250 million in bullion annually, beginning in 2013, at a cash cost of less than $200 for each ounce of gold produced. That forecast will make X-Story one of the highest margin operators in South America and a sector leader in the mining industry. X-Story has $50 million in its treasury, having spent over $60 million to date on drilling and engineering. The ultimate size of its Argentina discovery could be determined by year-end, as results from the 6 drills operating at the site are fully assessed. To find out more about X-Story Gold Mines and their exciting growth potential, click on their banner on the front page of TFNN.com or check them out on the NYSE Amex under the symbol XG.
TFNN is proud to bring you the cutting edge of investment newsletters. Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Ken is a top-down investor who lets price and volume in the major stock indices tell him when to be in the market and when to be out. By using his unique blend of fundamental and technical analysis, Ken will protect your hard-earned capital while realizing breakout gains. Go to TFNN.com today, click Investment Newsletters, and get Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks free for 2 weeks.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investment strategy. You're always looking for the next trading opportunity to magnify your perspective and maximize your returns. Direction Shares connects sophisticated traders with a powerful array of ETFs from a wide range of asset classes. The markets may go up and down, and you want tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor, Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Hi, folks. Turns out my best student became my best teacher. Steve Rhodes absolutely raised my standards, and I'll guarantee he'll raise yours.
Thanks, Tom. What I've learned is that if you want more, you must become more. And that transformation, folks, that occurs the moment you decide to become a master. Now, the quickest way to mastery is through immersion. And for 2 solid days in Denver, Boston, and Tampa, I'll create a new standard of wealth for those few trader investors who have a burning desire to succeed. At my Master Trader course, I'll teach you how to create the ultimate money machine. These are the best-kept secrets in the business. Roadblocks, folks. Dabblers give up when they first appear. Stressors last just a little bit longer, but masters expect roadblocks and achieve extraordinary results when they bust right through them. I have all the benefit of knowing the type of wealth creation that I can generate for you. You don't. That's why I'm making this unconditional money-back guarantee. If for any reason you're not satisfied with my Master Trader course, I'll refund every penny. That's right. I take all the risk, and you get all the benefit. Go to the homepage at tfnn.com and sign up today.
Here's what people are saying about Tiger TV.
Let's go to John in Tampa. Hey, John, what's going on?
Hi, Tom. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. You having a good day out there?
A wonderful day. I love your Tiger TV. I watch it every day. I'm like a kid in a candy store.
Oh, man, I appreciate you out there watching it. How long have you been watching the Tiger TV?
I'm watching almost a month now, and it's wonderful.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Oh, yes, it's cool. You see the charts and everything. Thanks so much for the hard work.
Tiger TV, a great news service from TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Goldfields. For more information, just click the Goldfields banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. 877-927-6648. You've got the Dow up 14 points right now. S&P's off about 2. Been relatively quiet in these markets here. You've got the composite down 5. Apple trading up $3. Small caps down about 2.2, just about a quarter of a percentage point. Google up $1. Microsoft up 5 cents. And so we were taking a look at the financials just before we went into the break. We were taking a look at the XLF. And what you can see on the XLF, folks, it has been really after the move off of the February 2nd. The jobs report came out on February 3rd. That was a Friday. And you had the XLF. You had many of the ETFs gap up, if you will. And what you can see ever since then, the February 2nd area has held as a support area. The top of this inside the XLF would be 1441. That is the high on February 2nd. You came down now. The volume that you had there on the XLF, 53 million shares. You came down and tested it with 80 million shares. That still wasn't enough to break through there. It's got the energy, if you will, to the downside. So you tested that on February 14th, 80 million shares. You came down and you tested that area again on 77 million shares. Let's go see what we're doing up at the high end, if you will. Well, if you take a look at the high end, meaning up in the so far, let's take a look. It looks like the exact high out there might have been on Friday, 1497. You did that with 74 million shares. Prior to that, you did with 47 million shares on March the 2nd. You did it on March the 1st with 67 million shares. 93 million shares. So you tried getting up there. You know, you can't bust it up. You can't bust it down. It's just simply going in a sideways motion here right now. This Tiger Gartley is still in effect out there. That is on the XLF. Let's go take a look at the XLK. That would be the technology sector, folks. We take a look at the technology sector, of which Apple is a part of. Let's go ahead and get rid of this out here. Let's go take a look at what this is doing. You've got a swing point high out here going back to February 29th, right? February 29th, if we took a look at most of the ETFs out there, you'd see the high inside the XLK. That high is 29.21. What you did on Friday was you got up to 29.18. 6.3 million shares was what you had. That was going into the 10.4 million shares. Now, you stopped just before that. 29.21 was February 29th, and 29.30 29.21. Okay, that was the high of February 29th. You did get to 29.21 with less volume on Friday. Today so far you've gotten up to a high of 29.23. Okay, so you got over that threshold, trading out at 29.17. You're probably going to want to watch the XLK, folks, because it's technology that has been leading this up. Since you are already over both the swing point from February 29th, meaning it traded above that, which had 10 million shares, and then on Friday, you got up to 29.21 on 6.3 million shares. You're going to want to see a close above that area with some volume. We've done 540,000 shares. We are in our first hour of trading. So that is, folks, you take a look at the light volume, knowing that you would stack volume up during the first 30 minutes of trading. If I just simply do a straight line on that, you would be looking at right around 3.5 million shares. 3.5 million shares is volume on the XLK. Folks, that's a warning shot across the bow there, if you ask me. So, and that's especially if it closes below 29.21. So I would say, and we'll take a look at that at the 4 to 5 time frame. Today, the lineup is you've got Basil Chapman following this show. Then I believe we are going out to Asia, and we'll be with Larry Pesavento, unless he's still in Philadelphia. But I think that he was on his way out to Asia. Then David White will be in from 3 to 4. I'll be doing the 4 to 5 show. Ken Shreve from 5 to 6 this evening. And so I hope Tom is listening to us on Tiger TV on his phone. And I know that he is having a great, I'm sure he's got to be having a great vacation. I'm going to have to check in on the weather, see what the weather is doing where he is at down yonder. So we've taken a look at, let's go take a look at the, what other sectors should we look at? Let's go take a look at the consumer area, the XLP consumer staples. Let's see what we're doing out here in the consumer staples area. And let me get rid of some of the stuff that's out here. Consumer staples trading out at 33.54. Let's go ahead and put this on a weekly chart. Take a look at what the consumer staples are doing out here. So you're trading up in this sector here at its highs. You're doing that today. Well, I don't even have the volume for today. How about that? 352,000 shares. Last week it did 68 million shares. If we just simply take a look at the Fibonacci expansion off of the highs from May of 2011 down to the lows of August of 2011, you'll see a 1.618 expansion. That's where it's headed to. That is in the 33.90 area. 877-927-6648. Dow's up 16. We'll be right back, folks.
This is Tom O'Brien. If you want to get great trade setups and equity as well as the option market, come over to TFNN.com and test drive my daily newsletter, Market Insights, for 2 weeks absolutely free. Each trade setup comes with a profit projection as well as stop placement. Included in Market Insights is a Twitter alert service. This allows you to take advantage of intraday setups. Volatility is back in the markets. What does that mean to you? To me, it spells short-term opportunity each and every day. The days of trending up on lighter volume are gone. We have come off the highs with volume across the globe. Don't get caught in a complacency trap. Many of the indices have given back 2 months of trading in 1 week. We have a trader's market. You can take advantage of this trader's market by test driving my daily newsletter, Market Insights, free for 2 weeks. Market Insights will give you the edge you're looking for in the markets. Go to TFNN.com, under newsletter, hit the Market Insight tab for your 2-week free test drive right here, right now.
In just December of last year, the price of gold was down over 10%. In today's highly volatile gold market, you need someone in your corner that understands the complex relationships that exist within the price of gold, as well as within a variety of gold equities. Whether it's the South African gold miners and knowing how the Rand-dollar relationship will affect their bottom line, or understanding how John Paulson's $5 billion trade in the GLD can move the market, Tom O'Brien gives you the direction you need to become a better trader each week in his newsletter, The Gold Report, with over 20 individual equities covered and almost another 20 on the potential watch list each week, in addition to covering the XAU, HUI, GLD, and dollar. The Gold Report is a great source for any trader that is looking to be diversified in today's volatile gold market. For your 30-day free trial to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report, log on to TFNN.com today. Don't miss out on this great offer. Act now.
What type of investor are you? Conservative, moderate, or aggressive? No matter your investor personality, your overall portfolio should reflect your financial goals, time horizon, and your risk tolerance. Help ensure your portfolio is appropriately invested with an asset allocation plan from Morgan Stanley Smith Barney. Simply picking the right stocks is not enough. Research has shown that choosing the right proportion of stocks, bonds, and cash is essential to the success of your long-term investments. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney believes that a carefully selected portfolio can lower volatility and increase investment return potential. Find out about what asset allocation and the Morgan Stanley Smith Barney financial advisor can do for you. Call Angela O'Brien, First Vice President and Certified Financial Planner of the Clearwater, Florida branch at 727-441-6108 today to discuss your personal financial needs. Asset allocation does not assure a profit or protect against loss in declining financial markets. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC. Member SIPC.
In the world of financial markets, there's a new player in town with an exciting new way to trade the markets. Nadex now offers binary options as well as bull spreads in a wide range of indices along with commodity and forex markets. With as little as $100, you can gain access to a new way to trade global financial markets while guaranteeing that your risk will always be capped. Nadex allows you to multiply your trading opportunities in ways never imagined before and access markets you once thought were out of reach. With short-term trading opportunities available, including binary options expiring each hour the market is open, Nadex allows you to take advantage of a variety of market conditions regardless of volatility or market direction. Now is the time to take advantage of this exciting new market. Don't let this trading opportunity pass you by. Open your account today by clicking on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Nadex, a better way to trade.
This segment is brought to you by Crocodile Gold. For more information, just click the Crocodile Gold banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. 877-927-6648. You've got the Dow up about 3 points right now. S&P's off 3. Composite off 9. And that's with Apple being up $3. Still small caps, again, still leading the charge down about 0.4% out at 346. Let's go to our first caller. Let's go to Lewis in New Hampshire. Lewis, thanks for calling. Thanks for holding. How are you today?
Fine.
How was your weekend? How was your weekend?
Excellent, yes.
My weekend was great. Too short, you know. I missed out an hour of my weekend.
All the time.
Do you like daylight savings time?
No.
You don't?
Not yet.
Yeah, okay. So you don't like it when it begins, but when we're in it, it's okay.
Yeah, when we're in it, it's right.
Yeah. Now, are you an early riser or a late? Are you an early bird or a late? I don't know what they call the late person.
It all depends.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
You know?
Yeah. I am absolutely an early bird. Of course, if I get some energy, if I get that second wind, you know, beyond 9 or 10 o'clock at night, that's a dangerous thing.
Excellent.
Yeah. You wanted to take a look at the SMN and tell me how I can help you out here.
Looking for an entry.
Looking for an entry.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. You think that's a possibility? If you think that's a good stock to get into.
Okay. So, you know what I was looking up quickly, I don't have I don't have the top 10 holdings inside the SMN. Do you by any chance have that?
No, not at a computer right now. No.
Yeah. So what I'll have to do is, you know, that's the first place that I would start is taking a look at the top 10 holdings in there. But let's go take a look at the SMN and see what it's done now. When we take a look at the SMN, I'll get that here. If I go back and take a look at February 10th, it actually gapped up with some nice volume. In this case here, when I'm taking a look at volume, I'm taking a look at the volume bar. It did it with 1.2 million shares. The session before that, it did 248,000 shares, and the actual swing point looks like it was really from February 8th that did 257,000 shares. Now, the high on that, just as a reference, was 1435, and you came back into that area with 500,000 shares originally on February 21st. The lowest volume in there looks like where it actually kind of rejected, it was on February 29th, and with 652,000 shares. So that really becomes, in essence, I would say, our A point in this move up here right now. And if we take a look at where this is potentially going, we take a look at the SMN. So I would take a look at February 29th, the 1419 as our A point. B point being March 6th, 1 million shares, got up to a price point of 1636. And then what it did on Friday is it pulled back. Now, if you're watching on Tiger TV, Louis, maybe you can capture the replayed version of this. But you will see when it made a high out here on March the 6th, did that with 1 million shares. And if you're taking a look, you can see as it was retracing back, volume was continuing to decline. And if we take a look at the retracement here that it did, let's take a look at the retracement off of that high. The retracement that it did was a 0.618. The exact 618 retracement would have been 1502, and where it got down to was 1505. So, what I think that you should be looking for, if you're going to be playing, whether it's the SMN or any of the ETFs or any stock, is when you're able to see a retracement coming back to that 618 area, and you're able to see it coming back, if you will, with lighter energy, lighter volume, that's really your target spot to want to be able to enter the trade. And that would be at around 1502. Now, you're not going to enter at exactly that point, but that was the first area to take a look at. You're out at 1559 right now. So, what this looks like it wants to do is it looks like it wants to do an A to B equals C, D up, but it's going to have some real juice to get beyond that March 6th area. With 1 million shares. So we've been trading today for a little over an hour and almost an hour and 20 minutes. Let's take a look at today's volume, Lewis. You've done 130,000 shares. So today it doesn't have the energy unless something takes place, between now and the close of the session. Right now, if we just simply multiplied that times 6, that would give us a pretty decent volume. So you'd be looking at about, what would be 135,000 times 6? Would that be about 780,000, something like that?
Something like that.
Yeah. So 780 going into, needs a million shares. So you're light by 20%. So here's what I would do. I would try to get into this, if you would, in the 1505 area, 1505, 1510 as your spot. And your stop, I don't have the tool up right now on my system and take a look at the average true range, but your stop would be somewhere underneath that 0.786 area, which would be 1485. Now, when we started off taking a look at the SMN, we were taking a look at February 10th, which had 1.23 million shares where it gapped up, and the low on that is 1459. So 14 and the 0.786 is at 1465. Your stop needs to be underneath the 1459 area, because that volume, should stop it, if you will. So you figure you're trying to get in around $15. Your stop is probably going to be somewhere around 60 cents or so, and so you're looking at 60 cents, and that would be your risk. Your reward, you're looking at about $17.22. So you're looking at about a $2 reward to about a 50 or 60 cent risk on that.
Right.
Okay, but what you want to do is you want to make sure that, how I would trade this, and again, I can't pull up the position size tool right now, and what I would do is I would trade no more than 1% of your capital. So the computation would go like this. Let's say that you're trading with $100,000. 1% would be $1,000. That's all that you would need to risk on this trade. And if your stop actually was 50 cents on $1,000, I would say that you could buy 2,000 shares.
Oh, good.
Okay, but that's using now. That's on 100,000. So if you're trading less, you can you just simply figure out what that amount is less than that. Okay.
Sure. Have you got time to look at something quickly?
Yeah.
SPNK.
SPNK. Give me a minute here. SPNK. SPNK. SPNK is that is the energy spider? No, that's not the energy. What is it? SPNK? Not getting anything come up, but I'm trying to SPNK. My keyboard's working. Is it SB or SP as in Paul?
SP.
SP. N as in Nancy. K as in... Okay. Let me try this. SPNK. I don't think I'm going to get anything on my screen here. Do you know what the name of the stock is?
No, I don't.
You don't. I would love to look it up for you, but I am not getting. I am not pulling up anything. Again, Sam, Paul, Nancy. I don't know. What do you use for K?
Let me look at it again.
Yeah, take a quick look at kite. There you go.
Well, it's SNPK. Sorry.
No, that's okay. That's great. Okay, SNPK. All right, now we're getting somewhere. Come on. Check out the batteries on this thing. Okay, there we go. You're looking at Sun Peaks Venture. Okay, so now let's go ahead and pull up that ticker symbol for you. SNPK. As far as news, I don't... SN... Yeah, we're going to need to get batteries on this keyboard as well. Okay, so this is just... There's no way for me to give you any information because this is a new IPO, it looks like. Came out on... Yeah, just a few trading sessions ago. So, trading out at 68 cents. Unfortunately, technically, no way for me to give you any information on this one.
Right, that's what I thought.
Yeah, so, but, I'd be careful with anything like this. I would let something trade for a while, and, unless you've got some other information, fundamental information or something, that would be good for you. All righty?
Thank you, Steve.
Hey, you bet, Lewis. Have a wonderful morning, wonderful afternoon.
You too, man.
All right. Sunpack. Okay. If we take a look at the Dow, folks, you've got you know what I want to look at? I want to look at the pound because the pound looked like it was getting pounded this morning. So let's go over to the currency world. Take a look at the pound. It's off its session lows. It was trading down to a low of 1.5606. You're right now at 1.5619. And the pound, folks, is absolutely below a support area. That support area being somewhere, I would say, first you got the 0.382, but if you take a look at its sideways trading mode, really ever since the January 26 time frame, you're looking at some support that was really right around the 1.564 area. You have busted through that. And what the pound wants to do is the pound wants to trade down to at least the 0.618 area. I think that what the pound is doing is trying to make an ABC down. And that ABC down, folks, will take it into the swing point. That ABC down, starting off here with this shooting star from February 29th. The high out there, I would just simply use right now as my B point, the easy one being March 6th. And actually, we would be taking a look at March 6th being the B point and the C point, if you will. And if you just simply also take, so 1-to-1 is where it's almost going to complete here. I think that what the pound wants to do is more than the 1-to-1, A to B equals CD. And just simply, if you go to the pound low from January 13th out at 1.52333 up to the high, that was on February 29th. What you'll see, you're trading below the 0.382. That says 618 is in play. That would be your 1 to 1.272. You've also got a gap up here. It would make sense that that would be an area of support, and that's where the pound wants to get to. That's 1.55222. Now, it's going to depend, folks, when the pound actually does that, because the pound is, I believe it is the third weighting inside King dollar, first weighting being euro, and pound or yen is number 2 or 3. And they're all really, they're within a small percentage of each other. So they're tied for second, if you will. And you're going to want to understand where the pound is trading. Now, if it does it in overnight hours, it's just simply going to affect the futures, because it will put some strength inside King dollar. If we go take a look at the currency market and see what the yen is doing out there, the yen has been super strong. The yen just does not want to, and when I say super strong, I actually mean super weak, if you will, against King dollar. And what the what the yen wants to do is get up at least into this 0.786 area. Doesn't have much to go. You'll be looking at around the 83.38. You're trading out at 82.27. And you take a look at these candles here. Look at all of these green candles, if you will. And, most of the green candles, you got to take a look at the larger ones here. You had a very good weakening of the yen on Friday. A slight pullback today. But if we go take a look at this on an intraday chart, let's take a look at this on I don't want to use that as the chart here. Let me refresh it, though, see what we have. We take a look at the... we're not going to use the 30-minute chart on that. For some reason, this is not properly updating on my... There we go. Okay, now we're taking a look at it. Let's go take a look at expansions and contractions here. We'll go ahead and throw on this great study that just simply measures the expansions and contractions between swing points. And as we can see here right now, take a look at, where the yen, if you're going to the 9 o'clock session on Friday, just take a look at how this thing actually weakened in taking off as we're comparing it to the U.S. dollar. Now, right now, what it is doing a retracement back. And what you can see, it's done about a 40% retracement here. And it is making some lower highs on the way back. And take a look at these Fibonacci numbers. Take a look at 0.618 is what this continues to make. It just made, just slightly above a 0.618 retracement here recently. As soon as this thing starts moving to the upward side, as soon as it starts making higher highs versus lower highs than what the yen will want to do, the yen will want to go reach for that 0.786 on the daily chart. That will put a little bit of energy inside King Dollar. Let's quickly take a look at King Dollar over here. And King Dollar, you can see, really here, just simply wants to make its move. It's already above the swing point that was tackling, which was March 7th. That was 79.98. You're at 80.06. And King Dollar wants to get up into this 81.21 area and could very well just say, once it gets up there, folks, then it's inside the swing point from January 13th. When you're inside that swing point, says you can go test the highs. Now, we have the same thing really going on if you take a look at our indexes here. If we take a look at the S&P specifically, what you'll see on the S&P is that the S&P is right now trading inside the May 2nd swing point. The low on that is 1358. The high is 1370. You actually got above it. You closed above it, I believe. Let me see here. Let me refresh the screen here. As I thought we closed above that on Friday. Let's see here. Looks like you did not. Looks like you rejected it. That's interesting. So if you take a look at the high out there of 13 on the S&P from May 2nd, we get there, May 2nd, you're 1370.58. You're trading out at, you've got over that this morning. You're trading underneath it, but you're still inside it. There is no conviction in this marketplace. You have heard that for quite some time, but that's just simply the way it is. No real conviction, just another sideways move. Let's go take a look at the ETFs, see what we've got going on out here. Let's look at the intraday volume activity, if you will. Nothing significant anywhere. Where is everybody? Are they all vacationing with Tom? Has he got everybody on that boat with him? 877-927-6648. We'll be right back, folks.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to tfnn.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
At At Tiger Metal Exchange, we pay you more for converting your jewelry to cash.
Let's go to Brian in New Jersey. Hey, Brian, what's going on?
Hey, Tom, just want to let you know I did give you some jewelry. My jeweler offered me about $650, but you get a check in the mail tomorrow for about $1,200.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, it's all about honesty when converting your jewelry to cash.
Okay, let's go to Paul in Florida first. Hey, Paul, what's going on?
I want to commend you on the Tiger Metal Exchange. I just did a deal with you guys the other day.
Oh, good.
I'm very happy.
Well, I appreciate it. Now, Did you sell us jewelry or did you buy coins off us?
I sold you jewelry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What we weighted at was less than you guys said, so, you're totally honest.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, we give you the tools to value your gold, and it's absolutely free. Call 866-618-8888 or log on to TigerMetalExchange.com. We've created the easiest, safest, and most honest cash for gold process. Tiger Metal Exchange. It's the only call you need to make.
Would you like to discover the next great tech stock? David White, TFNN's technology guru, has just launched his new newsletter, The Technology Insider. In his newsletter, David will be looking for those shining stars that may turn into the next Apple, Microsoft, or Cisco. David combines his technology background as a software programmer with his market skills as a successful professional trader to give you this unique newsletter. We're on the verge of the next great tech run. With the Technology Insider, you'll be in front of the run-up and not lagging behind. David is developing a long-term investment portfolio. Therefore, we're only offering the Technology Insider as an annual subscription with a remarkable price of only $395. That's right, for a little over $1 a day, you'll receive the fundamental technology wisdom and technical trading skills of the Technology Insider David White. What are you waiting for? Go to the front of TFNN.com, click on the link on the front page, sign up for your 2-week free trial, and become a Technology Insider today. Great Basin Gold is a mining company engaged in the exploration and development of 2 emerging gold properties in Nevada and South Africa with a total resource base of more than 23 million gold ounces. Great Basin's Burnstone mine in South Africa opened in February of this year with a resource of 20 million gold ounces, becoming the first mine to open in the historic Witwatersrand Basin in the last 30 years. The Burnstone mine is projected to have a 25-year mine life and is fully financed with production anticipated to be over 250,000 ounces per year at a cash cost of only $450 per ounce. The Hollister mine in Nevada became fully integrated in the 4th quarter of 2010 with annual production estimates of 110,000 ounces of gold per year over the 8-year mine life at a cash cost of only $527 per ounce. Great Basin Gold is cash flow positive and trades on the Toronto and New York stock exchanges under the symbol GBG.
Catch Basil Chapman as he uses his Chapman Wave methodology to call the markets. The Tiger Technicians Hour, next on TFNN.
Welcome back, folks, and thanks for joining me. Stay tuned because on the on-deck circle, we got Basil Chapman, and then we are going out to Larry Pesavento. Again, I believe he is in Asia. Then from 3 to 4, you've got David White. I'll be doing 4 to 5, and Ken Shreve will be doing 5 to 6. And what I did want to pass on, in case, Lewis, in case you are still listening, if you go take a look at the IYM, that was from Nick in the Den. You can take a look at the top 10 holdings inside SMN. You'll be looking at DuPont, Nemours, DD's, the ticker symbol, Freeport, McMoran, Dow Chemical, Praxair, Newmont, Air Products and Chemicals, Mosaic, Ecolab, and a few others. Go take a look at those, and it'll help you to better trade the SMN. Let's go to Mark in Massachusetts. Mark, thanks for calling. Thanks for holding. How are you today?
I'm fine, Steve. How are you? Happy Monday.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It is a nice Monday. How was
Yes, it's a beautiful day up here. Right now it's 60 degrees. It's going to be in the upper 60s. Hey, I won't complain.
I love it. I love it. Hey, and it's going to stay lighter. Of course, down here in Florida, we had kind of some nastier kind of weather last night, so I was looking forward to it being light outside at 8 o'clock at night. So, what time does it get dark up there? Now,
right now before the shift, it was getting dark about 6. So I guess now it's 7.
So. Okay, good.
Hey, I'll take it.
Yeah, good.
Hey,
you wanted to look at the. Go ahead.
I wanted to look at the dollar real quick, and also I know that Larry last week, Larry Pesavento had been saying that we were setting up for a massive correction. And what's your take on that? And what's your take on the dollar over the next couple of days? I know you were just talking about the pound.
Yes.
And what's your take on the dollar? And what's your take on what Larry was saying?
Well, I won't give you my take on what Larry's saying. I'll tell you what I'm seeing, though.
Okay.
You know, because I don't get a chance to necessarily listen to, everybody else's shows. And, but I will tell you that my long-term outlook right now, I'm bullish. Okay? So, but the longer term. And my intermediate term, I am bullish on the markets. Short term right now, I am bearish. And all that means is that, I still believe that there's more to this correction than what we saw with that one-hit wonder on Tuesday. How deep that correction goes is going to depend on what type of, how we come past that B point, if you will, on March the 6th. And quite frankly, I think in order to have that longer-term bullish outlook and that intermediate-term bullish outlook, from that standpoint, I want to see a correction because there is not enough energy just yet to get past this B point with volume, to get up over these May 2nd highs. And so I don't want to see the market continue moving higher and still maintain that longer term and intermediate term, outlook, if you will. But when I take a look at short term, you're trading inside that May 2nd area, inside the S&Ps. And I'm really taking a look at more of the S&P than I am anything else. But look, I understand where Larry's coming from because of some of the Astro events that are out there, because of the retracements that we've done, only being a 0.786. But if I just take a look at a stripped down, clean a chart, if you will, and I just simply don't take into consideration some of the lunar or celestial stuff that's out there. Long-term bullish, intermediate-term bullish, and short-term bearish. Does that help you at all?
You do, yes. Do you agree with what Tom's been saying, that we'll eventually go to 825 in the S&P?
What I do know is that if the market were to come apart, if you will, that is the last area where you have volume. So I would take a look at any chart, and I would go back and I could take a look at anything and say, where is the last real volume that you have? And so when something falls out of bed, that's where it ends up falling out to. I hope that helps you, Mark. And thanks. Okay, great.
Have a profitable day trading.
Okay, you bet. Have a great day, folks. Stay tuned for Basil Chapman. And I will see you at 4 p.m. Take care, folks.